Here's a psychology fact you're not ready for. If you've ever whispered to yourself, maybe I'm the problem, there's a very high chance you were being psychologically manipulated, not corrected, not challenged, manipulated. And the scariest part? Most people who are being gaslit don't even know it's happening. They don't feel abused. They feel confused. Psychologists call this gaslighting. It's a form of psychological manipulation where someone slowly convinces you that your thoughts, memories, emotions, and perception of reality cannot be trusted. And once this process starts, it doesn't destroy you instantly. It breaks you down in stages. 5 stages. And if you're listening to this right now, there's a strong chance you're already inside one of them. But here's where it gets worse. The smarter you are, the easier it is to gaslight you. Gaslighting doesn't work because you're weak. It works because your brain is designed to avoid emotional pain. Your mind prefers comfort over truth. And manipulators know this. And this next part explains why you haven't felt mentally stable lately. Stage 1: confusion. Did that really happen? Gaslighting always starts small, not with yelling, not with control, not with threats. It starts with denial. You remember something clearly, a conversation, a promise, a tone, a moment, and they say, "I never said that." You're imagining things. That's not what happened. You pause, not because you're unsure, but because you don't want conflict. Your brain instantly looks for peace, so it offers a lie. Maybe I misunderstood. This is the first crack in your reality. Why this works psychologically: your brain hates internal conflict. When memory and social pressure collide, your mind chooses the path that hurts the least. And doubting yourself hurts less than confronting someone you care about. So your brain sacrifices certainty for harmony. Common signs of stage 1. You replay conversations repeatedly. You analyze your tone, you question your reaction. You say things like, "Maybe I'm overthinking. I could be wrong. It's probably nothing." This stage feels harmless, but psychologically, this is where reality begins to blur. If that felt familiar, good. It means this already happened to you. Stage 2. Self-doubt. Maybe I am the problem. This is where gaslighting becomes internal. Now the manipulator doesn't need to deny reality. You do it for them. You stop saying, "They hurt me," and start saying, "I'm too sensitive." You stop trusting your instincts. You question your emotions. You apologize even when you don't know what you did wrong. What's happening in your brain? Repeated doubt trains your mind to treat your perception as unreliable. Your confidence weakens. Your inner voice softens. Your self-respect erodes quietly. Dark psychology fact. Psychology shows self-doubt is more damaging than direct insults. Why? Because insults come from others. Self-doubt comes from you. And once your own mind turns against you, you become easy to control. Most people think this is the worst stage. It's not. This is only the beginning. Stage 3: emotional dependence. I need their approval. At this stage, your emotions no longer belong to you. They belong to them. Their mood controls your peace. Their validation controls your worth. Their attention feels like oxygen. How this happens: after long periods of confusion and self-blame, your brain searches for relief. And the only source of relief is the same person who caused the pain. They apologize sometimes, they show affection sometimes, they give reassurance inconsistently. This creates a chemical trap, neurological truth. Your brain releases dopamine not from love but from relief, the same pattern found in gambling addiction, trauma bonds, abusive relationships. Your mind confuses instability with connection. And here's the part nobody wants to admit. At this stage, leaving feels more painful than staying. What you start doing? You ask them what's wrong with you, you wait for permission emotionally, you fear upsetting them, you shrink yourself to keep peace. This isn't love. This is conditioning. Stage 4, isolation. No one else understands. Reality is dangerous to a gaslighter, so they remove it, sometimes subtly, sometimes silently. They say things like, "They don't really care about you. They're turning you against me. They don't understand us." Or they say nothing and make you feel guilty for opening up. What isolation does? You stop sharing details. You stop seeking perspective. You stop trusting others. Soon their voice becomes the loudest one in your mind. Harsh psychology. Fact studies show isolated individuals are far more likely to accept false narratives even when evidence exists. Your brain needs external feedback to stay grounded in truth. Without it, reality bends. If this sounds familiar, here's the truth you've been avoiding. Stage 5, identity loss. I don't know who I am anymore. This is the final stage, and the most devastating. What identity loss looks like. You stop arguing. You stop explaining. You stop defending yourself. You feel numb, disconnected, empty. You describe yourself using their words. What happens inside your mind? Your intuition goes quiet. Your confidence disappears. Your inner voice feels foreign. You exist, but you don't recognize yourself. Darkest truth. At this stage, gaslighting isn't happening to you. Your brain is now doing it automatically. They don't really care about you. They're turning you against me. They don't understand us. Or they say nothing and make you feel guilty for opening up. What isolation does? You stop sharing details. You stop seeking perspective. You stop trusting others. Soon their voice becomes the loudest one in your mind. Harsh psychology fact. Studies show isolated individuals are far more likely to accept false narratives even when evidence exists. Your brain needs external feedback to stay grounded in truth. Without it, reality bends. If this sounds familiar, here's the truth you've been avoiding. If this hurts to hear, it doesn't mean you're broken, it means you're waking up. Recovery begins here, the moment of awareness. There is a moment that almost every survivor of gaslighting experiences. It's quiet, there is no explosion, no confrontation, no dramatic ending. It's just a thought, a simple one. Something about this doesn't feel right. That thought is dangerous to a gaslighter because gaslighting only works when you ignore your discomfort. Why awareness feels painful. The moment you start seeing clearly, your brain enters withdrawal. You're not just losing a person, you're losing a belief system. Your mind resists this because clarity removes comfort, and your brain prefers familiar pain over unfamiliar freedom. Inner dialogue during awakening. What if I'm wrong? What if I regret leaving? What if I'm the toxic one? These thoughts don't mean you're weak, they mean your nervous system is recalibrating. If you feel guilty for wanting clarity, that's not conscience, that's conditioning. Why gaslighters fear your clarity. A gaslighter does not fear confrontation, they fear independence. Because once you trust yourself again, their influence disappears. The core psychological damage of gaslighting. Gaslighting doesn't just confuse you, it trains your brain to distrust its own signals, your instincts, your emotions, your memory. Recovery means retraining your brain to trust itself again. Phase 1 of recovery, reclaiming reality. The first step is simple, but uncomfortable. You stop arguing with the gaslighter in your head. Stop explaining to an imaginary judge. Notice this habit. You replay conversations trying to justify your feelings to someone who isn't there. That voice is not reason. That voice is conditioning. Mental reset. You don't need to convince anyone that your pain is real. Pain is proof. Reality anchor exercise. Every time you feel doubt, ask, what did I feel in that moment? Not what would they say. Your emotions are not evidence of weakness. They are evidence of experience. If trusting yourself feels scary, that's because someone taught you not to. Phase 2 of recovery: rebuilding self-trust. Self-trust doesn't return all at once. It returns in small decisions. Start with micro-trust. Trust yourself on small things. What you like, what you dislike, what feels uncomfortable. Don't justify it, just notice it. Why this works? Your brain learns through repetition. Every time you honor a small instinct, you send a signal. I am safe with myself. Inner resistance you'll feel. This is selfish. This is dramatic. I'm overreacting. These thoughts are echoes, not truth. Self-trust feels wrong only when you've been trained to betray yourself. Phase 3 of recovery: detaching from the gaslighter's voice. Even after physical distance, their voice remains. How the internal gaslighter forms. After long exposure, your brain internalizes the manipulator. You begin policing yourself before anyone else can. Disarming the internal voice. When a critical thought appears, ask, is this my voice or something I was taught to believe? Most of the time, you'll know immediately. Important truth. Healing is not silencing the voice. Healing is recognizing that it isn't you. If your inner critic sounds cruel, it didn't originate inside you. Phase 4 of recovery: reconnecting with external reality. Gaslighting isolates. Healing reconnects. Safe mirrors choose people who don't rush to judge, don't minimize your experience, don't need to be right. These people act as reality mirrors. Why this matters? Your brain recalibrates truth through shared perspective. Isolation warps perception. Connection restores it. You don't need validation. You need calibration. Phase 5 of recovery: rebuilding identity. Gaslighting erased parts of you. Recovery is not becoming someone new. It's remembering who you were before you were trained to disappear. Reclaiming self. Ask yourself, what did I enjoy before I felt small? What opinions did I stop expressing? What parts of me went quiet? Those parts aren't gone. They're dormant. Important psychological truth. Identity loss is reversible. The brain is plastic. It rebuilds with permission. You are not rebuilding from zero. You are rebuilding from experience. Why gaslighters target certain people. Gaslighters don't choose randomly. They choose people who are empathetic, are self-reflective, care about harmony, value connection. These traits are not weaknesses, they are tools. Darkest truth. Gaslighting works best on good people who believe others are good too. Why smart people fall for it. Intelligent people self-question. They analyze. They look for nuance. Gaslighters weaponize this. If you're intelligent, you weren't immune. You were targeted. Here is the psychological boundary that ends manipulation. The non-negotiable rule. You do not debate your reality. Explanation is optional. Certainty is not. What healthy communication looks like. Healthy people ask questions. Manipulative people deny reality. Confusion is not communication. Discomfort is not danger. Disagreement is not abandonment. Your emotions are not liabilities. Gaslighting ends the moment you choose self-trust over emotional approval. If this video felt uncomfortably accurate, that's not coincidence. It's recognition. And recognition is the moment your reality starts coming back online. You were never broken. You were trained to doubt yourself, and anything learned can be unlearned. If that helped, subscribe. Human decode to protect your mind.